Picture line number 1 is the Contra Check. The entry that we are going to use for this particular picture line will be 4-5-6 of a Viennese cross, and we will exit after the Contra Check with a basic promenade position. So we'd now like to dance this for you to music. For the man's foot positions. So we have just finished the Viennese cross. Our feet are closed, your left foot is free. You're going to step forward on your right foot in CBMP, into a checking action, recover weight to the right foot, left foot brushes to right foot, and now forward left into promenade position. And now for your footwork, we have left foot, heel toe, recover toe heel in the right foot, rising up brushing, and now forward left toe heel. And now for your technique. Gentlemen, first of all, and I'll face the camera for this example, as you lower through your action here, I want you to think about revolving to the left of your right foot, okay? Quite often in a Contra Check, we step forward and across the line of the right foot, and then we're going to have an imbalance where the man's weight is to the right and also to the lady's weight. So what's going to happen is we're going to tip over to our right. So what I want you to focus on is that as you rotate through your right leg and hip, you're going to feel that the left foot is slightly to the left of the line of your right toe. This will enable you to balance the foot position so our bodies, when they go into the actual shape, will be in balance. Now, as you lower through this action, I'll back the camera so you can see this. What I want you to focus on is base, body, and head. So as I lower through my right leg and hip, using a range of motion, I place my foot, and during this time I'm feeling that my rib cage is starting to stretch down through a diagonal, but not turning the head at this point. That will be the last stage. So from here I lower through my right leg and hip, placing the left foot forward, not too large a step. Now from here I'm going to feel my body change, swaying to the right, and now my head looks over the lady's head position. Now from here, I recover to my right foot, just recovering to the same position where my right foot is being placed. I rise up, I turn my left side forward, and now I go into my promenade position. And now we'd like to invite Heather to show us the ladies' part.
And now the ladies' foot positions for this figure. So we're going to start off, like Victor has just mentioned, with the last 3 steps of the Viennese cross, which puts the lady into a crossing action. So we've just finished in this position. Now from here, ladies, our foot positions will be right foot back, slight swiveling of the left foot replaces forward, right foot swivels and brushes to left foot, right foot forward in promenade position. And now the footwork from here is we're going to dance a toe on the right foot, releasing the heel of the left foot. So if you can see that, I've got the heel of my left foot off the floor. From here I'm going to the toe of my left foot, brushing right foot to left foot, dancing toe heel of right foot. Now, what's very, very important on the technique of the Contra Check, ladies, is that we absorb the weight into the standing leg before we create our shape. So what's happened with our shape from the previous step is that we're in a Viennese cross position, and the man has actually got us shaped to our right. Okay, now from here, as we flex through this standing leg, we start to rotate and turn the left hip. In fact, I'll do this towards the camera. So my supporting leg and hip is going to rotate leftwards. And in return, what that does with my body is it dances my right side forward. And so what happens is my center remains over the standing leg. So I'm going to produce the curve through the right leg and allow the left foot to swivel. So if I just step straight back through a curved line, can you see how this ankle and foot looks very, very awkward? So I want you to make sure that when you do produce the curve with the right leg and with the hip, that once you achieve that position, just simply release the heel and shape a little bit more to the outside edge of that left foot. Then when we replace our weight to the left foot, we're going to slide the leg because we actually have to be on the outside of the man's right hip to commence for our promenade position. Now then, I would like to invite Victor back so that I can do this purely on arms, and I can show you a little bit better position as to how our weight is distributed in a contra check. So from here, as Victor gives me the message through his standing leg, as you can see, that is releasing my left hip joint. Victor's right side is releasing forward, so you can see my right side is dancing back. We produce a curved line. I allow my foot to turn. From here, I'm balanced on the back of my right foot, and my weight is from here split between outside edge and the ball of my right foot. From here, I'm going to transfer weight to my left foot, swiveling the base underneath the shoulders, and then landing in promenade position. So ladies, I think a very, very strong thing to think about for this figure is to not take the leg back and try and achieve a contact with the man's body before you have actually got your balance to your foot. This is a very, very individual step balance-wise.
Now, continuing on, what I'd like to mention in terms of where the man's body weight is in the beginning of the contra check, because this is where most problems occur, is that as we're in our connection here, I'm on my right foot, Heather's on her left foot. What most men do is they hit the lady with their upper bodies first. So gentlemen, what you want to focus on is not only just rotating through your lowering action, but feel as though your knees and thighs are going out ahead of you. So if you hit her with your upper body first, that's a lot of body weight that the lady is absorbing, and then of course the contra check is not going to be stable. So what I'd like you to focus on, if you can just look at our legs and hips here, I'm going to wind up through my right leg and hip. You're going to feel or see my thighs going forward. I move my left foot out ahead of me, and now I let my body become involved in the line. So again, what we're always thinking of, again, is base, body, and then head. Now, as I illustrated by myself earlier, when we lower into a contra check, please do not step across the line of your right foot, gentlemen, because this is what I was illustrating earlier about having all the weight on the wrong side. So when you do lower through your right leg and hip, try to place your left foot slightly leftward of the line of your right toe. So I call this the 10-30 position. So if you picture a clock, if I turn to back the camera, here's the 12, here's the 9, and here's the 3. So as I lower, my left foot will turn out slightly towards the 10, and my right foot is on the 6. That gives you a very stable position to be able to create a good extension, okay? Now, from this position, again, what's going to happen is you're going to feel that your rib cage is like a pulley action, so that when I go forward through my lowering, I'm going to feel that my rib cage is changing through an angle, again, making sure that my head will not change until after I produce that action. So quite often, men will shape their head too early into the contra check. So if I illustrate this, this would be the wrong thing to do. See how my head is going into the line too early? The lady will then absorb too much weight, and then of course we'll be off balance. So I'm going to back the camera slightly here. Heather will put her arm across me. So from here, as I lower, I place my foot, now body and head. Now from here we recover. I maintain my shape to my right, then of course we absorb up through our promenade position.
I'd just like to add one more thing to what Victor and I have already said. And when the lady actually does finish the head position at the end, try not to involve the shoulders going back this way, but try and think of the body in order to produce the head on those final few stages, is think of the body in a pulley action. Don't actually think the final stage of the contra check is once we've curved is to go and go straight back. This is a very, very common error, and it also pulls the man off balance. So from here, once I've achieved my position, think of lengthening the right side before we come forward.
Now, we have used waltz as an illustration of our basic timing. Now, if we were going to do tango, of course, we would have a much sharper, more staccato action. The size of the step may be a little bit smaller. So we'll just illustrate that for you. So a timing you could use in tango would be slow and slow. Now in foxtrot, or possibly our quick step, slows and quicks, we can go slow, 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 quick, quick. So those are basically some very basic illustrations of different timings that you could use. And that is your Contra Check.